Tori Kruse. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Please put your comments below, and you can also find me on social media at Miss Tori Kruse. I am really excited for our guest today, Katerina Villegas. I said it right, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, so Katerina Villegas, I'll get this right. It's a tongue twister for me. Miss Oregon USA 2020. We are continuing our Crownversations series, and I am bringing Miss Oregon on today, and we're going to have an awesome conversation. She is a doctorate student in psychology. She's getting her degree in psychology, or doctorate in psychology, and then wants to go on to possibly the Air Force to be an Air Force psychologist. And she helps people cope with anxiety and depression. And we were just talking here off camera, and it's just so needed in that industry. So welcome, Katerina. I'm super excited that you're here, and I'm really excited just to get talking and learn more about you and share you with the rest of the world and all the listeners.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, there's so many things I wanted to touch on here, but we'll just dive in first. Where are you from in Oregon, and how'd your pageant journey begin?
So I live in Hillsboro now, but I'm originally from Southern California. I competed in my very first pageant at about 17 years old. And let me tell you, I was a shy girl who didn't take a brush to her hair, didn't know much about makeup. I mean, I was athletic, and I was just very, very quiet. And one day I received a letter in the mail, and it was a nomination, I guess by a teacher, to join a local pageant. And I looked at it and I said, like, the Miss USAs and the Miss Universes of the world, like, okay, I want to try that. And my mom, I remember, she kind of laughed at me and she's like, are you sure? Like, you want to do this? And I said, yeah, let's try it. And she was like, all right, well then let's go big, or otherwise we're just going to go home and not do it. So she signed me up for California Teen USA. And that was my very first pageant ever at 17 years old. And I remember feeling so intimidated because I thought, how in the world is it that these 14 and 15-year-olds know exactly what they want to do with their lives? I'm 17, just trying to figure out how to graduate high school with close to a 4.0. And so after that first experience, I said, I'm never doing this ever again. It was too much. But then once you get bitten by the pageant bug, you have to do it again. You have to experience it. You have to think through, okay, well, what did I gain from that experience? How can I try it again and do it differently? So the second time I did it again, I said, I'm going to wait till I graduate from college first. I'm going to get my degree. That way I feel that I have a better sense of who I am as an individual. And then I competed again for California for a couple years before I quit altogether and said I was retiring. And it's just been this on and off. I'm going to do it. I'm going to retire. I'm going to do it. I'm going to retire for 10 years. And so the last pageant I competed in was in 2017. And that was America's Miss World. And I was done until one morning I woke up and I was like, I'm already here. What am I doing? Let me just try again. And then I ended up winning Miss Oregon USA.
That's awesome. So where was that transition from California to Oregon then?
So in early 2019, I moved to Oregon because I have a lot of family who had just moved there. My grandfather passed away 2018, so the summer of 2018, and it was really, really hard because all of my cousins and my family was in California, and they just kind of got up and left. And during that time, I had just begun my doctorate program in clinical psychology, and I was trying to decide what I wanted my emphasis to be in. And 3 of my cousins have been diagnosed with autism. So I really wanted to look more into child development disorders and disabilities. And so I said, I need to spend more time with my family to really understand what autism means and just how it makes them special. We term it as a disability, but no, my cousins are special and they are gifted. So how can I bring out the best in them, and how can I educate others more on this? So that was when I decided to just kind of get up, make the move, stay with my family. And then I had multiple people reach out that said, you're all ready, or what are you doing? Like, compete. And I kept saying, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I said I was done. And then eventually I gave in. I said, what do I have to lose at this point?
Exactly. Exactly. I can see so much of my story too, kind of going back and forth a little bit. And then finally I was like, all right, I'm doing the dang thing. And then it was 4 straight years until I won, after a couple other times competing too. So, so you mentioned a couple times about the, when you were younger and going and being intimidated almost going to Miss California Teen USA. And might I add, California Teen is a big pageant too. California in general is a big pageant, especially to start.
Oh yeah, it was a big thing. And my mom and me didn't know anything of what we were doing. We just said, Miss USA, how do you get there? Oh, Miss Teen USA, okay, let's go for it. I think that had I had a little bit more knowledge, I probably would have started at a much smaller scale first and then just kind of built up. But I mean, my experience has brought me to where I am today. So it's like, I can't change it.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a lot to be said too with having your mom walk alongside you, or anybody for that instance, like somebody close to you, like your mom or a best friend or a sibling, to be pushing and be like, let's do this thing and let's go big with it. Let's just not stay, let's just not compete to compete. Let's compete to win. And
Right.
I really resonate with that sort of mindset. And, fortunately my mom was on the journey with me too, but I'm sure, during those years, there were a lot of challenges. And what was kind of that number one thing that always stuck out to you that you kept, going up against, you felt like every single year, those years that you weren't winning?
I just kept asking, why not? Why not? And for me, faith is such an important aspect for me that I always felt like, am I not reading my Bible enough? Am I not going to church enough? If I'm not doing enough of the faithful things that I need to be doing, that God is just not granting this thing to me. And so that was kind of one of my biggest struggles, is that I kind of felt like, we all hear the term, and I know you've heard it, what's meant to be yours will be yours. When you're competing in every pageant, how many times do you hear that statement just being thrown at you left and right? And so I just kept thinking, oh, it must not be meant to be. And I just remember praying, why, God? Why not yet? And because that's what it was for me, not yet. Not necessarily not yet till I win the next pageant, but not yet until I had my moment, whatever that moment was going to be. And so that was kind of what I battled with again and again, and why I kind of said, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's just not meant for me. But I know that it's because of every single experience. It's why I became braver. It's why I was able to make friends. It's why I was able to have the courage to take on new challenges, new activities, new responsibilities, because that's something that pageants have taught me.
Yeah, 100% it does. So let's get into a little bit of Miss USA, because we're just going to kind of skip a few chapters here, but you had these challenges and then you won, you Miss Oregon USA, you kind of went on this up and down roller coaster before you got the crown, which is what a lot of people go through in everyday life, right? Like we're all going through life. There's a bump in the road. We got to pivot and go the other way and go around it. So this year, just doing these conversations, all of you girls who went to Miss USA have been women, I should say, not girls, but women who have competed at Miss USA this year, have faced a lot of challenges. Do you find yourself, when you're facing this challenge of going to Miss USA in the middle of, a quarantine and COVID and political things that are going on in our world, did you find that you kind of went back to that same younger you when you were fighting those challenges and going up against them? Did you talk the same way to yourself as you were going to Miss USA after trying to overcome these different challenges that you faced?
I didn't. It was different for me. And I mean, I'm 10 years older than I was when I first competed. And so I got to a point where I thought, you know what, this is the biggest blessing of all, to compete in the middle of a pandemic, because I just remember saying, oh my gosh, praise God, if I did not have this thing to prepare for, what else would I have been doing with my time? So I think that in all the moments that I felt like, oh, pandemic, oh, the world, I was able to channel all that frustration into making sure I got my home workout done, and I was able to nail those interview questions and whatever it was I could possibly do. So I think that as challenging as going to Miss USA in the middle of a pandemic was, it was one of the greatest gifts that I could receive. And that's kind of where my mindset was, and the preparation for it was, this is a gift. This is a blessing. Accept it for what it is. You were chosen along with the rest of your class this year for a reason. And so I would say that it was just a different mindset.
I love that mindset. I love that so much. So how did you, I'm sure you just didn't wake up one day with that mindset of, this is a blessing. We're going to try to find the good out of every uncertain circumstance that comes in your way. What do you do on a daily basis? Because that has to be a daily practice to constantly keep your mindset up to that level. What do you do on a daily basis to get there?
I like to read my Bible first thing in the morning and do devotional. And I went to this conference last summer where they talked about how, in order to kind of set your mindset for the next day, you kind of have to start the night before. So it's like, make note the night before of what you would like to accomplish the next day, and make sure you take those moments to set aside what you're grateful for. And every morning, even if you don't want to get up, really just say thank you for A, B, and C. And it really helps you get into that mindset. It's definitely not my everyday. I try really, really hard, but I mean, I'm only human. But I think that what really helped turn things around for me was shortly after I was crowned, I had the opportunity to go to Uganda. And I spent a week where I was talking to girls who live a totally different lifestyle than me. I went and I cleaned the slums. And when you travel abroad and you see that kind of thing, I peed in a hole. Like, it was just a different lifestyle. I remember going there and thinking, how did I not know that I had it this good? How did I not know? We hear about these trips all the time that people take, but it's different once you actually go and experience it. And so coming back from that, I realized, oh man, I have to be more grateful for everything that I have. So coming from that trip into a global shutdown, it was really helpful. And it reminded me to stay humble and stay grateful for what I did have.
Yeah, I love that grateful mindset. It is very true when you go abroad like that. And I've never been, you said Uganda, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never been to Uganda, but I can imagine just an experience like that. That's incredible to experience, number one, but then also to come back and count your blessings tenfold. That is something that I'm sure will stick with you for a really, really long time, hopefully forever.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll keep replaying the videos that I have from that trip if I need to remember.
Yeah, exactly. So you said you didn't really start out your college major with psychology. I'm wondering, how did you get to that point of now you're getting your doctorate in psychology?
So I got my bachelor's degree in communication studies, mostly because I wanted to be a singer. You know, you all have those child life fantasies that you come up with of what you want to be when you grow up. And I was always going to be a singer, no matter what. And my parents, oh, bless their hearts, they've always been so supportive of everything I wanted to do. They're just like, sure, we'll support the singing career, but you have to get a college degree first. No, you cannot major in music. Pick something else. So I said, communication studies, I'll do that instead.
Yeah.
So I graduated and I said, okay, it's time to start my music career. And as I continued through doing music for about 2-3 years nonstop, doing nothing else, it was hard. And I realized just how ugly the entertainment industry can be, especially the music industry. And I watched as family members of mine struggled with mental health issues. I mean, I was even struggling with them myself. So me deciding to get my master's in psychology was ultimately a way for me to find methods to cope with my own issues and help my family members cope with theirs also. So that's ultimately what inspired me to start studying psychology. It got a little dangerous for a while where I would just start diagnosing myself with everything in the book.
Yeah.
But it was helpful. And then after I finished the master's, I said, I really enjoyed this. I think that I should just keep going. So I'm almost halfway through my program. Thank goodness.
That is really exciting. What an interesting major. I would love to do something like that. That's really cool you're doing that. So
It's fun. It is exciting.
yeah, I think we have a little bit of lag in our video here. Sorry for talking over you there. But so during this time of the pandemic, there's a bunch of different, mental health, things that are going on. What would you recommend just to people right now for, keeping their mental health up to par?
Finding activities that you can do in the comfort of your own home, trying something new, even if that's, let's say you like art, take time to be creative. Find those things that you enjoy doing that you can do at home and keep doing more of it. And I really think that waking up with that grateful mindset and writing things down for yourself where you can say, today I feel this way and I don't like it, but here is something that I can be grateful for. So it's like when you start to get into those moods of just frustration, when you can look back at something that you can be grateful for, it kind of helps that negative emotion situation, and it kind of helps temper that.
Yes, absolutely. So, and for any girls that are going to compete in a pageant specifically this year, what would you recommend to them? What's your best advice for title holders during this time of so much uncertainty?
Oh, be ready for the unexpected. And that's one of the biggest things that I can say. Be flexible, be able to be spontaneous, be creative. This year I hosted a benefit concert supporting Feeding America, and it was really great because I thought to myself, how and in what world would I have been able to put together this huge concert with these acts from all over the country if we were able to gather in person? So there are opportunities to do things that you may not be able to do in person that you can do online. Have you thought about wanting to do a conference? Have you thought about wanting to start a book club? Have you thought about what kind of clubs are there that you wanted to start and you wanted to get people to gather for? That is possible right now via Zoom, via I don't think Skype is much of a thing anymore, but like there's so many different avenues that we can all use to gather together and inspire one another. So really take advantage of it. I know it's so easy to be bummed out and say, "Oh, I can't do any of my appearances in person." But the point of being a title holder is really to be able to reach people and connect to one another. So you just got to really take advantage of this new way of connecting.
I couldn't agree with that more. It's giving us an opportunity to do way more than we ever could have really before. Like you said, you're reaching people with Feeding America who you probably couldn't have reached or at least gotten a hold of, like actual, have the concert together.
Right.
If it wasn't, what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, and I love how you're in everything. Something that I pick up on with you is that you're always finding the good in every situation. And that's something that is so important, especially in times like this. And I just really honor you for that mindset that you have. And you're constantly creating and shifting and, finding the blessings. And that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I mean, I see you doing the same thing. I see you doing the same thing with these Crownversations that you're having, and you're going around and you're inspiring everyone which way you can. And it's such a beautiful thing.
Thanks. Yeah, I just really wanted to start it because a couple different reasons, but really to help these title holders to help the girls who are competing for your titles to be like, hey, this is what's going on. These girls have just had a ton of uncertainty and you are all leaders. And so I just really honor all of you for the year that you've gone through. I can't imagine being a title holder during this time, but you make the best of it. And it's been really, really fun talking to all of you. And I just really want to help you guys too, because as a title holder, you want to do appearances. I mean, that's why you have the job that you do as a title holder. And so you want to be out there and get the word out. And I just want to give all of you an extra platform too, to also, get your, like, who you are out to the world, to as many people as we possibly can, because you ladies are world changers. And I honor you for, being the leader that you have been, especially in a year of so much craziness and chaos going on in the world.
Oh, well, I appreciate you so much, Tori. And like I said, what you're doing is amazing. And
Thanks.
the greatest part about it to me is that you all, yeah, it wasn't a pandemic, but you lived this. So you had the experience. It was different circumstances, but I'm sure that the emotions that we walked away with were not that different from one another.
Not at
It's
all.
like we've been in each other's shoes. So to be able to connect with someone who knows how it feels, who knows what it's like, it's amazing. And for you to be able to do this, just know that I know that you're impacting every single title holder who has walked that stage, that same stage that you have, and will walk that same stage that we have.
Well, thank you. And I just want to end with one question, because something that I've been really, really passionate about with pageantry is how to use this opportunity as a stepping stone to where you're going in life. Because as we know, pageantry is not the end all be all. If anybody's believing that right now, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's not the end all be all. But it is an incredible leadership opportunity for young women to get involved in and really pursue their ultimate career goal. So how have you personally used pageantry as a stepping stone to where you actually want to go in life?
Well, I really, really want to continue my music and being an artist, and pageantry in a lot of ways has helped me find my voice as an artist in many ways. I think that the best inspiration for any creative is heartache and grief and loss, but also the exciting opportunities, like getting to do the glamorous things, getting to serve others, getting to go on these, world trips that you don't typically expect to do. There are so many different sources of inspiration that I have come across as a title holder, which has really fueled my energy as an artist. And so that's kind of how I've been able to take every single circumstance that I've gone through and turn it into a song. And I've also used pageants to perform at a lot of places. One of the things that I told my director when I was crowned is I want to perform the national anthem. I want to sing at as many places that I possibly can, or these are the type of people that I want to be connected to. And like my trip to Uganda, the emphasis was all on mental health care in Uganda. And as somebody who wants to be a clinical psychologist, that was perfect for me. So I think that to anybody who wants to take advantage of the opportunities pageants have to bring them, you don't have to do it the way that I did, where you want to sing at everything, or you don't have to look for psychology specific things, but what are your life goals? How can you really take advantage of those opportunities as a title holder? Because as a title holder, you're wearing a crown and sash. People want to invite you to these events.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on Miss Oregon USA, and congratulations on competing at Miss USA. And I'm just really looking forward to staying in touch. And I really hope I see you at the Global Beauty Awards. We have to do a little shout out to Maureen and David. Hey out there, hope you're listening.
Yes.
But they're amazing people, just absolutely incredible directors too. So hopefully I get to see you at the Global Beauty Awards. That'd be amazing.
Yes, I look forward to that.
All right. Well, have an awesome day. Thank you for coming on here today and sharing your light, and just congratulations on your accomplishments. Way to go.
Thank you, Tori.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Also, please follow me on social media at Miss Tori Kruse. Until next time, be unstoppable.